Whether you're planning your next adventure or just dreaming of travel, you're about to learn something that could totally transform the way you experience flying. Let's talk about something that most people overlook, but once you know it, you'll never travel the same way again: what you wear to the airport and on the plane. Have you ever noticed how some travelers seem completely at ease, confident, comfortable, totally in control, while others look like they're freezing, flustered, or just plain miserable? It's not luck. It's not genetics. It's strategy. The right outfit can be the difference between a smooth, enjoyable journey and a stressful, uncomfortable one. I'll never forget watching a guy board a long-haul flight to London in shorts and flip-flops. 2 hours into the flight, he was shivering, wrapped in 3 thin airline blankets, and begging the flight attendant for socks. Meanwhile, the woman across the aisle was fast asleep, cozy in slip-on sneakers, compression socks, and light, breathable layers. That moment stayed with me. Since then, after speaking to hundreds of flight attendants and traveling over 200,000 miles across more than 60 countries, I've learned what works and what doesn't when it comes to airport attire. Your travel outfit isn't just about looking good. It can directly affect your comfort, your convenience, and even how airline staff treat you. So if you're ready to upgrade your entire trip with just a few smart clothing choices, let's get into it. Let's start with footwear. Imagine this. You're sprinting across a massive airport terminal, trying to make a tight connection when your flip-flop catches on an escalator step. Or your brand new dress shoes start cutting into your heel, and now every step feels like torture. These aren't rare scenarios. They happen all the time. After watching countless travelers struggle with bad shoe choices, I've identified the top 3 mistakes people make. The first? Complicated footwear like high-top sneakers or lace-up boots. Sure, they might look cool, but they're a disaster at airport security. I once timed myself taking off military-style boots. It took nearly 2 minutes just to get through the line. Meanwhile, the person next to me in slip-ons was through in seconds. The second mistake is wearing flimsy sandals or flip-flops. They may feel like the start of a tropical vacation, but they're terrible for airport travel. They offer zero support, put you at risk on moving walkways, and let's be honest, no one wants to see bare feet on a plane. Plus, airport floors are not clean. One flight attendant told me there's no amount of money that would convince her to walk barefoot through an airport. And finally, never wear brand new shoes for travel. I've seen it end in blisters and limping far too many times. One traveler wore new boots on her flight to Paris, only to end up hobbling through the streets of Notre Dame in hotel slippers for 2 full days. So what should you wear instead? My go-to is a pair of comfortable slip-on trainers with good arch support, plus a clean pair of socks. They're secure, easy to remove at security, and they protect your feet in even the busiest terminals. If you're dying to wear your stylish sandals, pack them in your carry-on and switch after you land. Speaking of socks, let's talk about something few people bring up: how gross airport security floors can be. Studies have shown they may carry more bacteria than a toilet seat. Walking barefoot or in thin socks through security isn't just unpleasant, it could expose you to all kinds of germs. But it's not just about hygiene. The type of socks you wear can dramatically affect your comfort in flight. When you're sitting at 35,000 feet for hours, your feet naturally swell. Tight or restrictive socks can limit circulation and even increase your risk of deep vein thrombosis, especially on long-haul flights. And going sockless? That's a mistake too. One frequent flyer I spoke with flew 14 hours to Asia wearing loafers without socks. His feet swelled so badly during the flight that he couldn't get his shoes back on after landing. He had to shuffle through customs in flimsy airline slippers. The best solution I've found is compression socks. And no, I don't mean the thick, old-fashioned kind your grandma used to wear. Today's compression socks are sleek, stylish, and surprisingly comfortable. They help improve blood flow, reduce swelling, and make your legs and feet feel refreshed after a flight. I personally tested them on 2 cross-country trips, once with regular socks and once with compression socks. The difference was incredible. My legs felt lighter, I had more energy after landing, and even my ankles didn't swell. One flight attendant told me she never flies without them, even on short routes. Compression socks have come a long way. If you've ever avoided wearing compression socks because they felt too hot or tight, you're not alone. But the game has changed. Today's graduated pressure socks are nothing like the bulky, medical-looking ones from the past. Now, crafted from soft, moisture-wicking fabrics, they're discreet, breathable, and surprisingly comfortable. They quietly support your circulation during long flights without making you feel like you've wrapped your legs in a tourniquet. The big question, pants or shorts? Should I wear trousers or shorts when I fly? I hear this question so often that if I got paid every time, I'd have earned enough to fly first class forever. And while shorts might seem like the go-to for comfort, they're one of the biggest mistakes travelers make. Here's why. Aircraft cabins are colder than you think. That crisp, recirculated air usually sits between 65 and 70 degrees, 18 to 21 degrees. And if you're unlucky enough to be near an air vent, it can feel like you're trapped in a flying fridge. I've watched too many people shiver through a red eye, wrapped in a paper-thin blanket, regretting their choice of clothing. The gross truth about airplane seats. Comfort isn't the only reason to avoid shorts. Think about the seat you're settling into. While airlines do their best to clean in between flights, those seats aren't deep cleaned after every passenger. A flight attendant once told me they've seen everything from spilled drinks to diaper blowouts soaking into those cushions. Would you really want your bare skin touching that? What makes the perfect travel pants? The ideal travel pants offer a balance of comfort, functionality, and appearance. A soft waistband, natural breathable fabric, and just enough stretch to let you move freely can make all the difference. My personal favorite? Lightweight joggers with a drawstring waist. They're comfortable enough to nap in and polished enough to walk into a meeting after you land. One lesser known but important tip: steer clear of synthetic materials like nylon and polyester. In an emergency, these fabrics can melt onto your skin, causing more harm than natural materials like cotton, which will burn but won't stick. It's a small detail, but in a crisis it could mean everything. The secret to staying fresh: travel underwear. Let's talk about something most travel guides skip: your underwear. According to a Virgin Atlantic flight attendant, the best travel underwear is the kind you completely forget you're wearing. That means no tight waistbands, no scratchy seams, and absolutely no thongs or lace. Cotton might seem breathable, but it holds moisture, which isn't ideal for hours of sitting. Instead, look for underwear designed for travel or athletic use, something with moisture-wicking fabric and flat seams that don't dig in. Here's my personal tip: I always pack a clean pair of underwear in my carry-on. Swapping into a fresh pair before landing, or even mid-flight, can be surprisingly refreshing. It's a tiny ritual that makes a big difference when you're feeling groggy and cramped after hours in the air. Mastering the art of in-flight layering. If you've ever boarded a plane feeling fine, then suddenly froze mid-air and started sweating again after landing, you've experienced the temperature roller coaster of air travel. The solution isn't a single perfect outfit, it's smart layering. I learned this lesson the hard way on a flight from Miami to Stockholm. I boarded in sweltering heat wearing light clothes, only to arrive in freezing weather with nothing warm to put on. Since then, I've fine-tuned my layering game. A breathable base, a mid-layer I can remove easily, and a light jacket or wrap I can pull out as needed. That combination has saved me more times than I can count. Flight attendants have even complimented it. When you're getting ready to fly, what you wear can either make your trip a lot easier or much more uncomfortable. The trick is to dress in layers that work well together, giving you flexibility as temperatures shift throughout your journey. Airplane cabins are notorious for being too cold one moment and too warm the next. So instead of throwing on one big bulky sweater, it's smarter to build your outfit with lightweight pieces that can be added or removed as needed. Start with a soft, breathable base layer, something like a cotton or bamboo t-shirt, or a long-sleeved shirt made from natural fibers. These materials are gentle on the skin and excellent at regulating temperature. Next, Add a cozy but light mid-layer, like a thin hoodie or pullover. Finally, pack a light outer piece, such as a wrap or travel-friendly jacket, that you can easily take off and stash away, or even roll up and use as a pillow or blanket if you're trying to sleep. The goal is to be warm, adaptable, and comfortable without taking up precious space in your cramped seat. One flight attendant shared a clever tip. She never boards without a thin scarf. Why? Because it's the ultimate multitasker. It can cover your shoulders if the cabin gets chilly, be rolled up into a headrest, or block out light if you want a nap. It's the kind of travel essential that takes up virtually no space, but offers a ton of value. And when choosing what to wear, fabric matters more than people think. Natural materials like merino wool, cotton, and bamboo breathe far better than synthetics. These fabrics keep you warm when it's cold and cool when it's hot. Exactly what you need when the temperature keeps shifting mid-flight. Now let's talk accessories. Those little things that can either smooth your path through the airport or cause annoying delays. The most common culprit? Jewelry. Sure, a chunky necklace or metallic bracelet might look great, but they're magnets for metal detectors. Struggling to take them off during security while juggling your shoes, laptop, and boarding pass is more trouble than it's worth. One frequent flyer told me she swore off wearing any jewelry on flight days after missing a connection due to a fiddly bracelet that just wouldn't come off in time. Belts are another hassle. Since you're going to be asked to remove them anyway, why not skip wearing one altogether? Just pack it in your bag and put it back on after you've cleared security. The same advice goes for watches, especially heavy or expensive ones. They just add one more thing to take off and possibly lose. If you need to keep track of time, go with something simple and easy to remove, or use your phone. But not all accessories are problems. Some actually make your flight much better. A high-quality eye mask can help you sleep even when the cabin lights are on. Noise-canceling headphones are a godsend when you're stuck near loud passengers, engine noise, or crying babies. And don't forget a small crossbody bag. It keeps your passport, phone, and boarding pass within easy reach, so you're not digging through your backpack every 5 minutes. The best ones are flat enough to wear while seated and come with RFID protection for extra security. Believe it or not, flight attendants do notice what passengers wear, but not in a judgmental, fashion critic kind of way. Instead, they look for signs of someone who's thought ahead. I spoke with flight attendants from several airlines, and they all agreed. People who dress smartly for flights usually behave more thoughtfully too. It's not about wearing expensive clothes, it's about being prepared. They pay attention to things like shoes. Closed-toe footwear is safer if there's an emergency. Clothing that doesn't require constant adjusting is appreciated, especially in tight spaces. And those who wear light, easy-to-manage layers are usually easier to assist during boarding and service. On the flip side, there are a few things that really raise eyebrows, like people who walk around the cabin barefoot, or passengers drenched in overpowering cologne or perfume. These things might seem harmless, but they can really affect the comfort of those nearby. Interestingly, many flight attendants mentioned that passengers who look neat and clean, without necessarily being formal, tend to be more respectful and easier to deal with. One crew member said, "The ones who show up in pajama pants and fuzzy slippers are often the same ones who toss their trash everywhere and treat the plane like their living room." There's something about taking pride in how you present yourself that often translates into being more considerate of the shared space. That doesn't mean you need to wear a blazer or heels when flying, not at all. But aiming for clean, comfortable, and casually presentable can actually improve your experience in unexpected ways. You might find that the crew is more attentive, fellow passengers are more polite, and you simply feel more confident and relaxed during your journey. If you have a go-to airplane outfit that always keeps you comfortable, or if you've learned a lesson the hard way with a bad wardrobe choice mid-flight, I'd love to hear your story. Drop a comment below and share your best or worst travel attire moment. I read everyone,